Hey there! Today we're going to talk about how much money you can make growing microgreens. So, big topic today, how much money can you make growing microgreens? And I think this is a topic that we should be talking about because there's a lot of people looking to get into this space, and for obvious reasons, there's a low cost of entry, you need minimal space, you actually don't even need outdoor growing space, so it's really easy business to start. But you have to do your research and make sure that you can sell what you're looking to sell in your market, and that's a big thing you have to think about. If you live in a really rural area or someplace where people aren't really hip to microgreens yet, it may not be a very good thing for you to grow. You may not be able to sell it. Just because you think you should be able to make so much money with so many microgreens or so many trays or so many racks doesn't mean you're actually going to. And the numbers I'm going to go through here are really based on if you sell everything that you grow. And that is a big assumption I think people make when they start, is like, if I have this many racks and I plant this many trays, I should make this much money. Well, there's a lot of work besides that, the growing part of it, that you have to do to sell these microgreens. So keep that in mind. I'm also not going to consider labor cost. And I know a lot of you guys might be like, what about labor? Well, you know what? That's a whole other thing. And right now I work for myself, and my time is important, but I'm not counting it as a dollars and cents cost. I'm going to give you some numbers based on my market here and how much I'm selling things for, and the cost of ingredients that I've been getting, and this is going to change depending where you are, the scale you're at, because if you're buying more seeds at a time or less seeds at a time, the price will change accordingly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about my 4 main crops that I grow, which are sunflower, pea, radish, and broccoli, and I'm going to get into each one of those and talk about averages, and then how much money I can make on a rack, stuff like that. There are lots of other costs involved here. There's general overhead. There's all sorts of other things. So I'm really just want to focus on the variable costs here. The main variable costs that I find with microgreens are soil, seed, and the electricity if you're growing them inside. I'm also not going to consider the equipment cost because that's a sort of a setup cost in the beginning. I know there's like replacing bulbs and stuff like that, but in the general picture of things, it's kind of minimal, and you'll see pretty quickly the numbers moving forwards that it's not as significant as you think, but you do need that money up front. All right, let's talk about soil. This is what I use, SunGrow Professional Growing Mix, and I buy this locally, and it costs $15.15 a bag. It is a 2.8 cubic foot bag. I measured this out just to get an idea of how many trays I can get out of one bag, and it was like 23 and a half, so we'll go with 23, and so that works out to be 67 cents per tray for soil. Now, let's talk about electricity, and I'm using 4 T8 bulbs per rack, and they each use 32 watts, and so I'm paying roughly 11 cents per kilowatt here in North Carolina, and because I do 4 trays per rack, it's really 32 watts per tray, and so when I did the calculation there, I got 39 cents per tray, and that's because on average it takes about a week to grow these under lights. So far we got 67 cents for the soil and 39 cents for electricity, and that's for every kind of microgreen. So those are variable costs, in that if you scale up, you'll be using more of them. Okay, let's talk about pricing. A lot of the pricing I'm going to be using is based on what's working for me. You could be getting more or less depending on where you are, what kind of restaurants you're selling to, or if you're selling them individually in smaller packages at like a farmer's market or directly to consumer. Maybe you're getting less money if you're selling retail in small packages, all that kind of thing. And so for me, the packaging cost is pretty minimal because I'm putting it in like 1 or 2 pound bags, and so it's a few cents there, and I don't really stress about that. So I'm not going to consider that too. If you are getting into a situation when you're doing clamshells and they're 30, 40, 50 cents a piece, you're going to have to factor that into. But my bags are super inexpensive. They're basically not really a factor here. One good piece of advice I've heard from a lot of different people, and I think it's pretty sound advice, is that you should be getting at least $15 in gross sales per tray. And I think if you hit that minimum, you will be good. And you'll see as we go through the calculations here that that's the case. My yields are conservative for me. Yours may be way more, they may be less. You'll have to see what yours are, but be conservative with these numbers. Like, actually grow them, harvest them, and then weigh them, and then you'll see exactly what your yields are. If you start making assumptions, you're either going to be short on product for customers, or your whole calculation is going to be off here. So let's start first with sunflower. And I get about 1.5 pounds per flat, and that's after it's harvested, washed, hulls are off, dried, all that stuff. And I sell it for $15 a pound, so each tray should be $22.50 roughly in sales. Now, I've been buying my seeds, sunflower seeds from Mums, Sprouting Seeds, and I'm paying $47.49 for an 11-pound bag, and I use 4.5 ounces per tray. So calculation here, it's $1.21 in seed per tray. So if I take the $22.50 for the tray and I subtract soil, electricity, and seed, I'm at $20.23 per tray. Not bad. That's actually my highest profit microgreen that I grow. Let's talk about the next one, green pea. Now, I was growing speckled pea for a while because they grow faster and the yields are bigger, but I find green pea sells better, and so that's been working well for me. I get about 3/4 of a pound per tray. I'm still trying to up that a little bit, but that's what I'm getting right now, so I gotta be real about this. I've been buying those from True Leaf Market. Those are $89.11 for a 50-pound bag. I use 9 ounces of seed per tray, so that works out to $1 per tray. So I sell those for $20 a pound, so 3/4 of a pound per tray, and I take out seed, electricity, and soil. I get $12.73 profit per tray. Let's keep moving here. Broccoli. Now, I am still working on getting my yield up on broccoli, and I've gotten 1/2 a pound pretty consistently per tray, but I'm going to go with 0.4 pounds per tray. I'm buying those seeds from True Leaf Market at $54.78 per 5-pound bag, and I use 16 grams of seed per tray. Comes out to 39 cents of seed per tray. So what I've been selling this at is $2.50 for a 2-ounce bag, and that's going to my families. And so that works out to be $40 a pound. So 0.4 pounds per tray, $40 a pound. That gets me a profit of $14.01. All right, one more. Let's go. Radish. So I get about a pound per tray. I've been buying those seeds. There's a lot of different kinds of radishes, but the ones I've been using lately are $35.08 per 5-pound bag. I use 40 grams per tray. So that comes out to 62 cents of seed per tray. I get 1 pound off a tray, and I sell it for $15 a pound. That comes out to $12.78 per tray. Now, you could just focus on one or the other or all of the above, and there's other microgreens out there. So there's a lot of other microgreens that sell for way higher of a cost per ounce or per pound. They're more delicate, more niche microgreens. The yields are going to be smaller. Again, this is what I'm growing right now, and I wanted to give you a ballpark so you could see if this works or not for you. And I'm trying to cover all the costs minus those big overhead costs and labor, and you'll have to figure that out for your context. So what I did here was I averaged those four, and I got a net profit of $14.94 per tray. Now, I grow on these racks here. I have 2 of them currently, and they are 2 feet deep by 4 feet wide. They hold 16 trays, so there's 4 shelves, so I get 16 trays on here. And I flip this once per week. So each of these racks, if I can do 16 trays at $14.94 profit, that gives me $239 in profit per week. So let's say I do that 50 weeks a year. That's $11,950 on this little rack. Takes up 8 square feet. So it's pretty remarkable. And these numbers, again, is if you can sell every single thing you grow. And you also have to take into account the time and energy and money that you spend marketing and sales and delivery and all the other things going on. But I just want to talk about the actual upfront profit. I don't know what the word is here, but the sort of the initial profit you could possibly get off of one rack. Now, you could be changing your crops, as I said. There's a lot of different options here. But I wanted to share this information with you because I get a lot of questions about pricing and profit and can you even make money doing this and all this stuff. And I think it's easy to get really excited about making money growing microgreens, but you have to be real about it. And you have to be able to sell all this stuff. You know, you can't just do these numbers. You'll start growing it and then you'll just, what am I going to do with this? So again, this is what I got going on here. I just want to share it with you guys to let you know. I don't think I am at this number of 11,950 per rack, but you know, it's something to strive for. I think I'm trying to be as realistic as possible here, and I want to share this information with you. So hope you like this video. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.